Thanks for joining us on AFL Riverina TV. I'm Lauren Markham. With a new coach and plenty of changes in the off-season, 2015 shaped as an interesting year for Mangoplah, but at the halfway mark, last year's runners-up sit on top of the ladder. Assistant coach Trent Cohalan is our special guest this week. Trent, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Chris Daniher heads your coaching team at Mango. In a nutshell, what are the most important things that he's brought to the club this year?
Chris was around the last couple of years, so he's probably seen how we played football then. He's just brought basically little details of the game that can sort of give you an extra inch in one-on-one battles with your opposition, along with a revamped game plan without going into too much detail.
And yourself and your brother Travis are assistant coaches this year. What's it like taking on that extra responsibility?
Yeah, it's been fun. We obviously take Tuesday night trainings because Chris is out on the farm, and it's been good to be able to talk to someone with such a good profile like Chris and learn off him, as well as we try and help our juniors develop as well.
And personally, coaching and playing, have you learnt much from Chris?
I've learnt a stack off Chris, yeah. On game day, I try and worry about the playing side of things a little bit and let Chris do the coaching, and then during the week I try and talk to Chris as much as I can to try and feed off his knowledge.
And 7 wins from 8 games so far. I guess you'd say there is still some room for improvement. What will be the bigger areas to focus on for the back end of the season?
We're trying to introduce new things each week, and at the moment we've got a few things that we want to work on just to tidy up a couple of things that we're probably not doing 100%. I won't go into too much detail there either.
Yeah, so you guys did lose some key personnel last season. So leading the comp is a great effort. Where's that improvement come from, do you think?
It's definitely come from our juniors. Guys like Jake Whitley, Tom Keogh, Isaac Darm. We've also swapped a few guys around from back to forward. Matty Collins has gone to full forward and he's playing there, and I think he's well and truly up there with the leading goal kickers. So the development's probably come from within, and I think probably also having that experience of having played with Cole Sambrook and Mitch Daniher and Andrew Pettigrew for an extra year as well. I think we're sort of starting to gel a bit more as well.
And Cole Sambrook, he was a revelation last year, and Mitch Daniher, as you said. In their second season, how important are those two in the run to finals?
Oh, they're both very important. You sort of you'd probably discount a little bit how much they actually do during games, and then you sort of sit back over and watch a tape or see the stats when they come through during the week, and you think, yeah, okay, that's exactly where we're getting the footy straight out of the centre from with those two guys in the middle. It makes it pretty hard to beat the midfielders. Now
we'll talk about Colin Gully for a bit. You beat them already once this year, and you were the only team to beat them last year, and you did it twice, just not on grand final day. How much does that still hurt?
It probably doesn't anymore. I mean, obviously it hurts when you think about it, but it's a new season now and we're trying to concentrate on moving forward. It won't get addressed at all now. Probably in round 1 we might have addressed it just to talk about how we probably owed them one, but moving forward now I don't think we probably talk about last year's grand final again.
And do you think they'll be the team to beat again by the end of the year?
I think there's probably 4 or 5 teams to beat, and I think they'll be a part of that 4 or 5. They certainly obviously played very well on the weekend against Coolman to win by such a great margin, and by all reports all their guns clicked on the one day, so if that happens they're going to be very hard to beat on any given day.
And after Gully you've got Leeton. Is that in the back of your mind already, or?
Probably not. We concentrate week by week. We haven't really seen Leeton properly yet. We played them in the wet, so it was more of a bit of a contested scrag of a game, so it'll be interesting and I think a good challenge for us to play them in some dry weather if it is dry next week.
And you said you do go week by week, but after that game you play the Tigers, and they've already beat you guys this year. That was kind of right at the end of the game that they ran over the top of you. Was that an important lesson about the RFL season?
I think it just shows how close the competition is, and if you switch off for 5 seconds or just 5 minutes at the end of a quarter, you can lose the game quite quickly. So we failed to adapt to a plan those guys had out of the middle, and it reaped them 3 goals in a row, which got them in front, and they held on in the end. So it was a great game of football, and that's pretty well what it's like every single week. If you're not on your game, you can get beaten.
And there's been some great individual performances across the league this year. Who've been the most impressive players for you?
Chris Laddams. He's phenomenal. Just the pure strength that the man has in a marking contest is outstanding. He kicked 8 against us, I think. Then there's guys like against Turvey on the weekend we played, and Dane Campbell just come back into the league. He's playing good football. Ben King from Griffith. He's only a short little fella, but he killed us. Like he's probably one of the best players in the league. And then Toby Conroy from Leeton. They're all very good players.
Well, Trent, that's it. Thanks for coming in, and all the best this week and for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much.